More and more meth lab fires are leaving a wake of hard-to-treat burn victims, and it creates a multi-million-dollar financial burden on hospitals and taxpayers. Amber Lyon continues her report from rural Missouri on the hazards of a do-it-yourself recipe for making meth known as shake and bake.
There was a tattoo that covered the majority of my chest right here that was removed from the burns. And my throat, my eyes, the side, my ears. That I don't have feeling in that. That's like a numb feeling.
His name is Dennis Potter. More than 60% of his body was burned in a meth lab fire.
Look like raw steak. Like you ever skinned a deer? That's what it looks like. Or you ever skinned a cow or anything like that?
Dennis began using meth at 16, hooked on the intense rush.
You think you're on top of the world and you're untouchable, and like you can make it rain or shine when you want, and you think you're God when you're on it.
God.
Yeah, more or less you think you're the president of the world.
He dropped out of high school, where he was known as One Punch Potter. He then started making meth. Shake and bake, a new recipe that combines all the ingredients into one bottle. Highly risky because it can blow up, but so convenient you can make it in your car.
Just driving along, shaking it, and set it between your legs and loosen the cap so it can release the pressure, and then cap it back off and keep shaking.
Were you ever worried that this could explode on your lap?
No, you really don't think about that. You think about when you're done, how high you're going to get off the meth.
The fire happened making meth in his trailer.
The jug was on fire, and when my buddy handed it to me to get rid of it, I kind of shoved him out of the way because I knew it was too late. So I shoved him, and boom, it blew up. I remember seeing a flashlight, a big flashlight, and I remember being on fire for about 5 minutes.
My feelings that night were primarily rage.
Next door neighbor Tom Cisco has 2 young children.
Their concerns were that they were going to lose all their toys and their home where they lived. My concern, the lives of my babies. I mean, that was my main concern.
Luckily, the fire was contained. His children were safe. But the parents of 20-year-old Dan Mittenberg, several counties over, were not so fortunate.
This one is a scholarship award that he'd gotten to go to Lynn.
Yeah.
Lynn Technical College. Dan rented a room here, a mile from the campus, to avoid parties and drugs.
He wanted to go to school to learn.
But down the hall, a meth cook. When the lab caught fire, he got out. Did not. Dan's parents remember the last time they talked.
He called me and told me, I'll see you Friday night, you know, and
He was supposed to help Tom move.
and he said, I love you.
The fire in Dennis Potter's trailer almost killed him too.
Well, I could see the fire, and it's burning my face, and the fire's coming up, and it's burning my mouth, and I'm breathing in the flames. I can feel the flames burning me, burning my throat, and on the inside, I can feel it on the inside on fire too.
He was taken to Mercy Hospital in St. Louis with 2nd and 3rd degree burns. Plastic surgeon Dr. Michael Smock. When you first saw Dennis, were you thinking he was going to survive?
He was clearly at risk of dying.
I love you.
I miss you, Grandma.
At his bedside, the grandmother who helped raise him.
Every day I look at my grandson and I cry. He doesn't see it, but it's there.
Shake and bake burns from chemicals and heat are especially complex.
I'll flatten you back, okay?
What we do is we first have to cut off the burned skin.
I'm just going to wrap your pinky and your thumb.
And we use one of these kinds of knives to shave the burned skin off of the burn area.
Dennis's family took pictures as he had skin grafts.
You move this over an unburned part of the skin, and it shaves off a thin layer of skin. That's the skin graft.
They cut it from my thighs. Little chunks of skin, little square chunks.
At one point, we had to sew his eyes shut as we placed skin grafts on his eyelids.
The bandages and the way the skin looked and the way it just looked like Freddy Krueger.
It's been 2 years, a remarkable recovery. But it came at a price. And not just to Dennis. Dennis was on Medicaid, courtesy of taxpayers. There are some taxpayers who will watch this and be upset.
Oh yeah. I said thank you. I didn't really want you to have to pay for stuff like that.
Medicaid paid only a fourth of the bill, leaving the hospital holding the bag for nearly $100,000.
Wow.
We don't have an unlimited source of funds and an increasing percentage are patients with meth burns. At some point, yeah, there is a limit to how far that can go.
A few weeks after our interview, police found meth equipment in a vehicle where Dennis lives, and he was arrested. Dennis says this time he was not involved. When we come back,
we got 8 adults in a meth lab, and I got 2 boys.
a small town cop says he has a solution.
The answer has been staring us in the face since we let the genie out of the bottle.